Lachette from Scarlet Moon Creations, and I am back with my May, my May Elemental reading and June preview. So, I'm really liking this makeup. But it's not gonna last past this video because I'm gonna go take a shower after this. The usual spring, summer disclaimer first. Please excuse any ambient noises. It is warm enough that I need my window open, and I live on the first floor in the city, so please excuse any cars, trains, random beeping, or random people passing by in the street talking. Though I try to film on a time of day that doesn't happen, or it happens as little as possible. As always, I try to edit out as much as I can. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. So, as always, I pull out the cards that I drew during my annual year ahead spread, and this is just all the names for each month. I do follow the lunar month. So we are talking about the time period from May 5th to June 3rd, basically, which has just passed. And I pull a card, one for each element from different decks I think that fit those elements. So, without further ado, the element of air card, from the Thoth Tarot is the Queen of Wands. And wow, air is, to me, the mental sphere of life. It represents thoughts, communication, mental health, and maybe a bit of travel and things like that. Follow my Instagram on IGTV. Excuse me. I did. The Anthony's 31 Days of Tarot for 2019, and one of the questions was to talk about your favorite cards from the tarot deck, and I've always loved the Queen of Wands. No matter what deck it is, she just sticks out to me as archetype to try to emulate to an extent. It's that balance of being comfortable with feminine energies, but also with the masculine energies, which fire is, with doing and action, as well as with intuition and emotion. So, yeah, it's, to me, this kind of says it's a very strength card, and it kind of says how, not that it says, it carries on the feeling of the lovers from my April video. So the lovers is kind of very much about balance and balancing those masculine and feminine energies, and I feel like to a slightly lesser extent so is the Queen of Wands. Just just to a slightly lesser degree. So let me stop going on and on about the card and like attribute how that manifested for me this month. I think I was just very strong mentally. I got a lot done. This month literally kicked off with the Beltane Festival that I spent all of last month preparing for. That's why I talked about it so much in the previous video. And there was kind of this strength of knowledge and a core strength. Like, I knew who I was, what I can do, and what I had to offer. It was a little shaky, um, and I was not this perfect being, but I was kind of very sure in myself. So my self-esteem, my mental thought processes, how I talk to myself, and communicated was very key. And I very much did what I wanted to do this month, what I know were my strengths, and I am happy with how I was mentally. Like, comparing this to cards even like 6 months ago is not a 180, but a whole hell of a lot different as far as mentally and self-esteem wise. So my fire card from the Deviant Moon Tarot was the Eight of Cups. So we went from pretty good to avoiding things, and that's literally what this is about. So cups are emotions, but we're in the element of fire, and that's kind of creativity, building something, my personal willpower, and what else is fire? Spiritually as well. I think, I guess I was just avoiding some things on that level. I could have put in a little more work in the aftermath of the Beltane Festival and during the Beltane Festival, but fire is always is also action, and that's, I guess, where I'm putting in this, like, getting things to carry on, not just having those creative spurts, and then doing nothing with them. I think spiritually it was a pretty strong month. There was a lot. And particularly, I think I might have been taking on too many uh, divination challenges. And for me, the divination challenges, and divination in general, even though I do offer readings, as you guys can find in my description, I mostly think of it as a tool for myself, getting to know myself better, and self improvement, self development, and as a way of connecting with like deity or spirit guides and nature in a sense. And it was, I was taking on too many and trying to keep up with too many, and then I just kind of walked away from it all. Especially since I was also doing some spiritual art journaling, or just spiritual journaling in general, getting back to working with the plant allies and essential oils, and the other things, doing these elemental readings, working with these cards is I think I put maybe too much on my plate spiritually, and I had to walk away from some of it or put some of it aside toward the latter half of the month, unfortunately. But I don't know how I'm gonna do it this month, but I think I've gotten a little bit better. So that is the fire card. Now the water card from the Llewellyn Tarot is the Four of Swords. Yeah, another not so great card. This is a card that I really don't like. One of my least liked cards, because this is a card that I completely identify with. Particularly this last night. One of the reasons I put on makeup for this video, or so much more than usual, is because I didn't sleep well because I was worrying and giving myself nightmares because of my worries. So, um, this card is very much the worry card to me. I like, even as a beginner, I identified with this. I was like, I know what's happening there. So I don't like usually think positively of the Four of Swords. If you can see, there are four like imaginary swords hovering over this woman in armor while she sleeps. But in the background, there's kind of this woman shaped plant life growing in the rocks. So, not the end of the world. And she's guarded by her trusty friend, man, woman's best friend as well as man's. Um, so not, an end of the world card. It's not major, but it is a minor inconvenience that comes up pretty often in my life. I don't need to do a reading to know that that would come up as a card. So anyway, emotionally, I think that is where I was at the lowest. Um, Kind of feeling pretty strongly about myself, but not knowing how to put that into action, and then kind of escaping into spiritual work that is not necessarily connected into finding out what actions to take next. Kind of, it always makes me feel guilty. I feel like I'm not doing enough for myself. I'm not being enough, and these things weigh on me. And there was a lot happening this month. I mentioned my brother's wedding in the last video. That was the lead up. And now it's like it actually happened, and that day was a lot. It was ultimately a happy day, but there was so much going on, a lot happening, emotional highs and lows, as one can expect from a wedding, but also it really didn't need to be all of that. Also, Mother's Day has happened. Holidays are always like this emotional time. um, uh, I kind of also was sad. I say I did everything I wanted to do, but I did not get to do, I didn't get to go to the BTS concert. And ultimately, I decided it wasn't uh, something I would have really enjoyed as much as I could have. Part of it is me and concerts. This was a stadium tour, and like, so that even more people. And then the only tickets I would have been able to get would have been really, really, really up in the nosebleeds, and I have a problem with heights. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that. Also, because I would have gone by myself, and the last times I've gone by myself, I've had a difficult time just letting go and rocking out, I guess, just fully enjoying it like I know I would if I was in my bedroom. So I opted not to push to get a ticket, and I bought some other stuff that I'll be able to enjoy longer. BTS related things. But yeah, it was just kind of ups and downs, and a lot of feelings of guilt for not being more proactive after Beltane for my business and for my life. Um, and not realizing that this second quarter is almost over and I haven't done as much for my depth year as I had hoped to, and I haven't. That's I think that was like really what was on my mind. I have not done the things. So yeah. Last but not least, we have for the elements of earth from the fairies oracle Ecstasis. And this is one of the singers of fairies, so it's more like a ancient fairy energy, or an energy that is more clearly seen or interpreted in the Fae realms. And this is one of my favorite cards from this deck. And I love how it's kind of got a little bit of an exoskeleton, but also, wings there. And it just kind of, to me, represents the state of being. Ecstasy. I hope to one day attend a group ritual that is focused enough for me to reach an ecstatic state. I'm not looking for like Baptist church feeling the spirit ecstasy, but just that shared group power energy focused, and a hyper focused, not necessarily doing magic, just feeling the energies of each other and nature and life around us on this planet and in this solar system, in this universe. So that is for the element of earth, which is grounding, financials, your physical body, physical space, the planet around you, all that kind of stuff. And I see it as a very positive card. I had a nice long walk on the High Line. I loved it. I house sat for my high priestess, which meant I got to just be with her dogs in nature, out of the city, on the side of a mountain, um, pseudo hiking through the forest, which is in her backyard. And like, these are like spiritual experiences for me. Going to a friend's house for a magical gathering and like being in her backyard, just honestly sitting with my shoes off on the ground, my feet on the ground, just feeling very grounded. And I got a lot of outdoors time. And it worked for me. Also, one of the divination challenges I was doing, I'm using the companion oracle for this, the Heart of Fairies, another Brian Froud Fairies oracle deck, and love it. I don't think I've worked with that deck this extensively for a while, but I'm just feeling very grounded and secure, also feeling really body positive. I mentioned this a while ago, but I do have fibroids, and they're pretty big. And I still haven't seen anyone about it because my appointment's taking forever, but I'm just, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I've been doing exercises, and just feeling very grounded, connected to the earth and the universe, and taking that self-care time. Also been cleaning up my room and getting rid of stuff. I finally bought new sneakers, which is a huge deal because my sneakers have been done for like the last 5 months, but I've been putting it off. And just feeling physically well, physically healthy, grounded in myself, being aware of my physical body and okay with how it is and improving it slowly without feeling bad about it. Also cleaning up my physical space, slowly improving, not just letting things slide, and getting out and about, connecting with nature, finding times to ground myself when I feel it's necessary. Just these physical forms of self care that really work for me. So that was my month. And as always, here's a preview for the cards for June. So my air card is art from the Thoth Tarot. I don't know where my brain went that quick. And another balancing card. It's equivalent to Temperance in the Rider-Waite-Smith system. So if you look back at my April video, Temperance was the card for fire. So balance is like a recurring theme, and I like that, particularly in air. So my fire card from Deviant Moon is the Two of Wands, and just a very industrious, putting things together, creating something new, and wands, like I said, are fire, so yeah. Next for my water card in June is from the Llewellyn deck again, the Knight of Wands, and another wand card, action, activity, and it's the Knight. So he's going in, he's running in there to get stuff done emotionally. That's interesting. And lastly, for the element of earth from the fairies oracle is undressing the salad. And he's got a lot of balls balanced here and looks pretty comfortable and handling it, even though he sticks out and some people don't even pay attention. So I'm not exactly sure how this will manifest this month, but it looks like a pretty positive month overall. Thank you guys so much for watching these videos. As always, I appreciate it. I just want you to have an example of how you can use a year ahead reading from me, an elemental year ahead reading, or if that's too much for you, elemental month ahead reading. And both readings are available in the link to my shop down below, as are several others, if you would like to purchase a reading from me. And I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoy your June and your summer solstice. Bye!